After last night's horrible loss in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, Luka Doncic speaks out on what really happened in the game, what went right, what went wrong, and what the mentality needs to be going into Game 2 as the Dallas Mavericks are fighting for another NBA championship. We also have a quote from Kyrie Irving on his own experience with the Boston crowd and what he really expected. And in this video, we're going to break down those quotes as well as take a look at our Game 1 playoff history and what needs to happen better in Game 2 if we are going to stand a chance to defeat the Boston Celtics and bring home the prize. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, if you could just drop a like on this video, I'd appreciate it greatly. If we get to 400 likes, it would make my day. But like I said in the intro, Luka Doncic, he speaks out on the loss. It was a pretty tough loss. We really weren't playing our best brand of basketball. I didn't see any real lobs from Gafford or Derrick Lively. It looked like the Boston Celtics really knew our game plan and knew how to defend us and really didn't allow the Dallas Mavericks to get into their own rhythm. But here's a quote from Luka Doncic. Luka Doncic on bouncing back in Game 2, saying, "Just focus on the next game. I think we really got good shots. We just didn't make them, but we've got to go game by game. The Game 1 is over. We've got to watch film, what we did wrong, and focus only on the next one." And I think that's the greatest mentality to have, especially being in the NBA Finals. I mean, this is the biggest stage of their careers. There's nothing higher than this for most of the players. I know some play overseas, but for the majority of the team, this is the highest level that they're ever going to be at. And the mentality that they have to have is just stay focused, stay locked in, stick to the plan, and everything will go right. Luka Doncic had a pretty good game in Game 1. To his own standards, it might not be that great because we still lost, but he did put up 30 points, 10 rebounds, and only one assist. And that one assist speaks volumes to just how the Boston Celtics defended the Dallas Mavericks very well. How we did have a lot of open looks that just didn't go in. Kyrie missed a few open shots. PJ Washington did. Daniel Gafford and Derrick Lively were having a hard time down low. And one glaring issue that I saw in Game 1 was the point of attack. The fact that a lot of our guys were just trying to attack the rim while Kristaps Porzingis was right there. I don't know if they thought they could just posterize him, thinking, hey, he just came back from injury. Yeah, sure, I can just dunk over him. And unfortunately, that didn't work, as Kristaps Porzingis had 5 blocks last night. And that's one thing that definitely has to change going into Game 2 if we're going to be successful in this series. But the one thing I do want to point out is that a lot of the Mavericks fans have the right mentality. Throughout the entire playoffs, Mavericks fans alike were all worried after a loss. They thought it was over. However, not just the fans, but also the media are all in agreement that the Mavericks aren't out. We may be down, but we're not out. We still have this. It's just one loss. We have a history of losing Game 1s, and things are going to be okay. It's not the end of the world. We just got to take it one game at a time, one day at a time, look at the film, look at where we can adjust, and go from there. Like I said earlier, we weren't getting any of our lobs. And that's props to the Boston Celtics for just knowing our game plan, knowing our bread and butter, and how we like to play. But I didn't see any alley-oops, no lobs, very little pick and roll. I didn't really see a lot of ISO play. I saw a lot of panic play from the Dallas Mavericks. A lot of just unsure of what to do. There were some moments where the offense was looking great. We were going in the fast break where we were converting from our defense to our offense. And it was free-flowing. It was great. And then things kind of just rolled back as when the Boston Celtics made their adjustments, we couldn't adjust to their adjustments. But even Kyrie Irving had this to say about Game 1 and just his own expectations of the Boston crowd. Asked Kyrie Irving if the reception from the fans either met or exceeded his expectations tonight and how it affected him. Kyrie Irving said, "It's basketball at the end of the day. I thought it was going to be a little louder in here, but I'm expecting the same things going to Game 2. And if you've been keeping up with everything that's been going on with the Dallas Mavericks leading up to Game 1, Kyrie Irving had a lot to say about the Boston Celtics crowd, just his memories of playing in there when he was playing for the team, his memories after leaving the team, and the fact that I think he's 0-10 playing against the Boston Celtics ever since he left. I think after tonight he's 0-11. So Kyrie Irving was expecting a lot of just craziness going on, and watching it at home, I definitely saw the crowd getting involved, but it might not be to the level that Kyrie Irving expected. And maybe, just maybe, Kyrie Irving got in his head a little bit, maybe expected just something just crazy going on. We all know the history of Kyrie Irving and the Boston Celtics, so he might have expected a little bit more antics, a little bit more craziness from the crowd, and it just psyched him out. I don't expect Kyrie to have another bad game. I mean, great players can have bad games. That's to be expected. However, Kyrie Irving is a professional. He's a champion. He's been here before. He's not new to this. He's true to this. So I believe that Kyrie Irving knows exactly what he needs to do to have a better game 2. Because in game 1, I was seeing a lot of forced shots, a lot of just rushing the offense, not letting anything set up. And again, a lot of our movement in the fast break was met with blocks, not allowing the rest of the offense to get back. A lot of 1-on-4 situations that just didn't really pan out that well for us. The Boston Celtics knew what to do. They were well prepared, better prepared than we were. But I like to point out in the second half, the Dallas Mavericks did make the right adjustments. It was just too late. The deficit was too large. We couldn't really dig ourselves out of that. But I don't expect that to happen 2 games in a row. But I just want to point something out for you guys because this isn't the first time we've been here. Does this look a little bit familiar? How about this? Does it ring a little bit bells? Do those 2 images look like this one? These are our game 1 losses in the playoffs so far. Now, yes, 89 points. Not pretty at all. We lost by 18. It sucks. It's not a good feeling at all. But we've been here before. Like I said in my last video, this isn't new for us. We lose game 1s. It's just a part of the process, I guess, at this point. So we can bounce back. Things don't look bad, and it's good to know that the fans and even the media still believe in the Dallas Mavericks. And if the fans believe in us, the media actually believes in us, and if the players believe in themselves, then this should be a good series. I mean, if it goes into 7 games, I'm hoping for just the best brand of basketball from the Dallas Mavericks. If it goes to 5 games and we win in 5 games, that's even better. I'm all for it. As long as it ends with a Dallas Maverick dub, I can't really complain. But the guys have to make the right adjustments. Things need to change. Game 1 was bad. It was, 89 points? That was our lowest, I think, in the entire playoffs. Can't happen again. We definitely had worse games. We've definitely been down by a lot more and had to fight our way back. It's not impossible. The Dallas Mavericks can definitely win this series. It's not impossible. The Boston Celtics really weren't just hitting us that hard. They only scored 107 points. Shout out to their defense. I don't want to take nothing from them, but when we only score 89 points, when that's not the norm for us, I highly doubt that'll happen again. Luka played very well. The assist number, only 1 assist, is just indicative of the rest of the team not being able to hit their shots. And a lot of these open shots just not going in. Kyrie's got to do better. PJ, Josh Green, the entire roster has to step up. And if we're going to play Tim Hardaway Jr., if we're going to play Maxey Moore, those guys as well, even at the end of the bench, they have to step up and come in crucial moments. And Jason Kidd, I think, knows what needs to happen. He knows the defensive schemes. We were playing a lot of switch defense, a lot of zone, and then that really wasn't working. We switched to a man. That was a little bit better. The threes for the Boston Celtics were raining. They hit about, 18 threes last night? We hit about 7 or 8. Not ideal. Not ideal at all. But when you take 42 threes, yeah, you can make at least 18 of those. We got to contest better on the perimeter. We have to do better protecting the ball on offense because there was a lot of just unnecessary turnovers. The laundry list of things that this Dallas Mavericks team needs to do to improve ahead of Game 2 is long. However, we have about another day and a half until Game 2. We play on Sunday. Their team can rest, they can practice, look over film, and I truly believe in the Dallas Mavericks have everything that they need to do to go into Game 2 and get a dub, because if we can steal one away, going into Dallas for Game 3 will feel a lot better. And even if we do go down 0-2 going into Game 3, I still feel confident. We play very well at home, we usually play better on the road, but we all know that Game 1s are a feeler game. We try to see what the other team's bringing to the table, what does our offense and defense match up against the opponent, and you go from there. It's not over. We're down, but we're not out. But thank you guys so much for making this far to the video. That's all I got for you guys today. Check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing another giveaway, doing some Dallas merch. The winner will be announced next month. And the only way to enter into our giveaway is to become a channel member. But until next time, y'all take care. Remember, drink water.